boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages. This is Jesse with the Common Nerd, bringing you pop culture and all things right through a common sense lens. And they say how God has a very funny sense of irony, and I completely and totally agree with them. And if you've ever heard about Hollywood having all irony completely and totally lost on them, I think that's probably also very true as well. Because boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, since The Wicked was first announced out there, the live action of the absolutely insanely successful theater production out there, and then of course the book, all based on the book that of course was just nothing more than a spinoff, kind of an adaptation of the original Wicked Wizard of Oz stories and all of that kind of stuff out there. And of course it was a massive success. I had a friend of mine back in high school that was huge into all of this kind of stuff and was just, I absolutely knew about this kind of phenomenon this was. So I always expected these movies to do really, really well. But the press tours, needless to say, have been kind of weird, all right? Especially this round with Wicked 2. And Cynthia Erivo has kind of been at the center of all of that controversy out there. And boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, of course, as the internet is, memes flow. And if you look a particular way and you dress a particular way, sometimes you might be compared to particular fictional characters out there, especially those that have made a mark on cinema. And ladies and gentlemen, I don't think any of you will deny the comparison that you're about to see, because Cynthia Erivo reminded a lot of fans of cinema out there of a particular character from a very long time ago, none other than Nosferatu. And as you'll all know, Robert Eggert finally got to make a proper Nosferatu movie because the book that it was based on, that it was very obviously a complete and total ripoff of, Dracula, is now in the public domain. Well, like I said at the beginning about God has probably the best sense of irony and how it's all completely and totally lost on Hollywood, because after Critical Drinker put the meme on Reddit over a year ago, well, it's now officially come true. Cynthia Erivo will play Dracula in a new adaptation of Bram Stoker's classic. They've literally made the meme real, boys and girls. And I saw this headline. I legitimately thought Marvin was giving us an early April Fool's joke. I thought there was no way this was real. How did they not see this? How did you not understand the comparison and about the irony that you are going to make this allegedly woman, I'm just kidding, woman, into Nosferatu? You're literally going to have her play Dracula. Yes, they're really going to do it. And praise be to the Lord in heaven for the fact his wonderful, poetic, beautiful, justified sense of irony, boys and girls. We have memed this into the existence, and we have the Lord in heaven to thank for it. So we're going to check this article from thatparkplace.com, give you all the juicy details about when you will get to see Cynthia Erivo embody the meme. But before we do, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share with all your friends, and subscribe or follow if you have not already, boys and girls, because we are grinding, we are growing. We're trying to anyway. YouTube's got us holding a little block right now because I'm challenging a copyright claim. So please, if you haven't already, make sure you smash that subscribe button down below and get us over that 1448 or that 2448 hump we're sitting at. Get us to 2450. That would be wonderful. I'd certainly appreciate it. Also, leave us a comment in the section down below. What do you think about all of this? Do you think this is somebody inside of Hollywood with a little inside joke because they know of the memes and they offered her the role because guess what? She's going to jump at anything right now? Or do you think it's completely and totally lost on the fact that a woman who looks like this is going to be playing Nosferatu's source material? Let us know what you think about all of that in the comments section down below. Of course, if you'd like to support the channel, please check out the links in the description down below. This is my full-time job, and those memberships do go a long way to keep the lights on around here, boys and girls, and it's only by the grace of God. All right, from thatparkplace.com and our dear sweet Marvin Montanaro, who was not pulling a fast one on me. Cynthia Erivo has been announced as the lead in a new West End production of Dracula, prompting renewed conversations as the Tony-winning actress once again steps into a role historically portrayed by a man. Honestly, I don't really care about that at all. They made the meme real. They made it real. They're literally making it real. The Cynthia Erivo Dracula announcement comes on the heels of two other headline-making moments. Her being on the cover of GQ's Men of the Year issue. And given I believe it was like British, like it was the United Kingdom's version of GQ, that she was the man of the year over there. And given her was like a multi-version issue out there. But I mean, do I need to even make any more comments about the state of the masculinity in England and the people who run that country at this point? The United Kingdom. Hi, faraway Finley. And her casting as Jesus Christ in a large-scale production of Jesus Christ Superstar. Once again, you think the spirit of the age infests Hollywood? You think the spirit of the age infests your government? You think the spirit of the age infests the company you work for? Trust me, there is no level higher of infestation than theater productions. Okay? Given there's a lot of good folk that work on them productions that give us incredible stuff. But the people running the show, for the most part, are way more possessed by the spirit of the age than most of the people in Hollywood. Yeah. So none of this coming out of the theater productions ever shocks me at this point. I mean, these are the same people that supported the piss on Christ and called it art and put it in the government and put it in Washington, D.C. So, yeah, at this point, we know what's going to happen to heretics. So I'm not really worried about it at this point. But, yeah, color rush shocked there. So, this is fun. While the production of Dracula is officially revealed earlier this year, West End Theatre has now released new artwork promoting Elvira in the role. The production, adapted and directed by Kip Williams, will run at London's Noel Coward Theatre in February 4th to May 31st, 2026. And it's always funny, too, how a lot of these big flashy stars end up in nothing but like theater productions after their time in Hollywood is over. Hi, Snow Brown. According to official details from the West End Theatre, Elvira will play all 23 characters in the stage adaptation. It's literally going to be a one-woman show, including Jonathan Harker, Van Helsing, Lucy Western, and Count Dracula himself. And honestly, how that works very well in a show, in a story, really, that there is so much physical interaction is wild. But I mean, at the end of the day, Cynthia Erivo is skinny enough and has long enough arms that she's going to be able to hug herself and make it look like somebody else is trying to bite into her neck. Or in this case, her biting into someone else's neck. I mean, she can literally wrap her arms around herself. So, I mean, I don't think it's going to be all that unbelievable on a stage play. And once again, it's a one-man show. So that's kind of the whole point of these. We really don't care about the rest of this, just other than that it's fun. We can talk about the controversy, I guess. The Cynthia Erivo Dracula casting adds to a growing list of instances in which Erivo occupies traditionally male spaces. In November, she made headlines of the GQ listed her as one of its Men of the Year, a move that drew public attention to its grandeur of the title. Before that, Erivo played Jesus Christ in a major production of Jesus Christ Superstar at the Hollywood Bowl. I mean, it was literally something that lasted over the weekend. The casting of a gay black woman as Jesus Christ was incredibly offensive to Christians everywhere, but Erivo brushed off their outrage. You can't please everyone. It's legitimately a 3-day performance at the Hollywood Bowl where I get to sing my face off. So hopefully they'll come and realize, oh, it's a musical, the gayest place on earth. Which, once again, I mean, they're not wrong. She's not wrong. It's just one of them situations where it doesn't really matter who you're working with. I was a thespian in high school, right? And given I was a thespian in a small town, so there wasn't as much of this kind of stuff in it. But I went to the colleges. We went to that kind of places. It's one of those things is where that's not the part that matters. Anybody that's been in theater or especially in musicals for longer than 5 seconds knows it's filled with homosexuals, right? But that doesn't matter because they're actors, right? And that's the whole point. They can act. And as long as that doesn't become the agenda, it doesn't matter. The problem is, and has always been, when that becomes more important than the story. And for a lot of these folks, it has, right? And let's just be honest. They only put her as Jesus Christ Superstar in that role to intentionally piss people off, right? Now, it's always good to call it out, and I'm glad so many people did. I'm glad there was articles written about it. I'm glad people made videos about it and all talked about it. But at the end of the day, it's just bait. It's bait from the devil. Like he's literally trying to bait you into getting outraged and doing something that was literally a 3-day performance that almost no one was going to see. Call it out. Talk about it. Absolutely. But do not let it lose you sleep at night. Okay? Heretics are going to get what they deserve. And trust me, this is the least heretical thing Hollywood and the theater production houses, especially in West End, have done. Trust me. Kip Williams' approach to one-actor adaptations typically combines live acting, pre-recorded footage, and multi-angle productions. His Dorian Gray production received widespread praise for blending cinema and theater, and Dracula is posted as the final entry in his Gothic Cinema theater trilogy, following both Dorian Gray and the strange cast of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Given the technical complexity of the staging, Elvira's portrayal of 24 roles will likely rely on rapid-fire transitions, on-stage costume elements, film segments, and character doubling, techniques that Williams has used successfully in prior productions. So it sounds like it might actually end up being a really good show. Whether audiences embrace Cynthia Erivo as Dracula remains to be seen, but the reaction online has been highly volatile. The production is already generating discussion due to the contended trend of placing her in culturally significant male roles. Honestly, the reactions might have been viral. Some people might be pissed about that, and that's fine. I don't care. If that's your axe to grind, by all means, have at it. But I mean, if you're worried about this scrawny, anorexic chick doing a lot of this kind of stuff, okay, cool. Be upset about it. If that's the way the spirit moves you, by all means, have at it. But boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, they made the meme real. They literally did. With no sense of irony. All of it completely and totally lost on them. They made it real. And that's hilarious. So don't get butthurt about the fact that she's out there playing a traditional male role. Don't get butthurt about any of that. Don't get upset about the fact that she played Jesus Christ in a theater. Call them out for it, absolutely. The one thing the devil hates the most is to be mocked. So laugh at them, ridicule them, make fun of them for doing stuff like this. And I honestly think God has given us a friendly reminder of that. Because as Critical Drinker said, do you think she'll be up for the sequel? Well, obviously she is, because they're doing it. She's now Dracula. We've memed her into existence as Nosferatu, boys and girls, and the Lord has a funny sense of irony and absolutely was like, oh yeah, this has got to happen. This is funny. This is going to be hilarious. And here we are, because God has an absolutely incredible sense of humor. Where do you all think we get it from? You don't think God can laugh at things? You don't think God makes jokes about stuff? Have you seen a platypus or an echidna? That's some really weird, funny animals. Okay, and we love them. We adore them. But it's God's friendly reminder to us to not take life too seriously. After all, none of us are going to get out of it alive. The best we can do is serve him, praise him, and do everything we can to follow his rules as best we can and spread his gospel and spread his word. But every once in a while, God reminds us that it's not all doom and gloom. That things really are funny. And that at the end of the day, he's still in charge. And I think that's exactly what this is. Because the meme has become real, boys and girls. And after well over a year of all of us laughing and comparing her to Nosferatu and how much she looked like the undead with them long little creepy fingernails and her overly anorexic body, and now it's true. Cynthia Erivo is now Nosferatu, boys and girls. The meme has become real, and praise be to the Lord in heaven, because his sense of irony is absolutely joyous and delicious, and something I think we all needed right now. So thanks, Dad, because that one's funny. A big shout out to all of our subscribers and members out there. Thanks for watching, and make sure you guys like and subscribe if you have not already.